Hello, my virtual friends. My name is Catherine, also known as Miss Blue, and welcome to The Writer Will Do Something. This is a game where we play as the head writer of a major league gaming franchise. It's got a new sequel coming out, but development starts to go wrong. We have to deal with that nonsense. So, without further ado, let us begin. Start. Alright then, here we go. No idea how this is gonna go exactly. It's a web browser one. Hopefully my Wi-Fi will be kind enough to not be annoying this time, but still. Let's see what it's like. April 26, 2012. Whoa, such a long time. It's like 5 years ago now, technically. Ugh, horrible. You are the lead writer on Shattergate, Future Perfect, the third entry in a once beloved franchise. Oh. Alright, so we're going full Resident Evil on this stuff. Alright then, that's fine. You never finished the original Shattergate and somehow didn't play Shattergate Strikes Scoured Lands, even though both games still glisteningly shrink-wrapped occupy the same space on your coffee table that they have for the last 14 months. Okay, so we have known nothing of the franchise. It's not really important how you wind up as the lead writer on Shattergate. You did. The game is 6 months from shipping. Have we even started? You can't make a game in 6 months. Not a AAA title, I wouldn't think. They take years to make. At least 3 or 4. Sometimes 10 if you're Lost Guardian. Late last week, the team received its first reaction from paid outside consultants, which are unambiguously catastrophic. Wow, okay. So, not good so far, just to put it lightly. You're in the meeting room with several others, most of them leads. You're fairly certain none of them knows you never finished Shattergate, never played Scoured Lands. It's Monday, 9:30. A heavy, damp towel smell lingers. You and everyone else here work through the weekend. You look around. Did we get it done? The meeting attendees are, okay, Josh, Mike, Troy, Sean, Erica. You're done looking, okay. So, okay, I know sort of about these kind of things. I'm gonna like sort of apply movie logic to game logic, which might not work as well, but still. Okay, good. Josh, Mike, Troy, Sean, and Erica. Got it. Josh, Troy, fuck. Everyone knows why we're here. This is Josh. His eyes are red and his shirt hasn't been ironed in probably weeks. Okay. He's the head creative director. I got that. You've heard rumors that his wife has been upset about the amount of time Josh has been away from home. Oh, okay. His son, you know, turned 2 last week, and Josh missed his party. Oh. Well, that's sad. This is a fun old start to the game, isn't it? Interesting, though. It's kind of like a insight, I suppose, into how it all works. I think, at least. The consultants didn't like our game. Not only that, they had no idea what kind of game we're making. Yeah, we're here to fix this. We need to fix this. So let's go around the room. I want you to all tell me what you think is the main problem. Well, I don't know anything about the franchise. It's pretty much like me making a Zelda game at this point because I haven't played a single one of them. I know about them, but I haven't played one. Unfortunately, you're sitting next to Josh, so you have to answer first. With unnerving android simultaneity? Or, okay, all 5 heads round the table turn to lock onto you. Whoa, I know that feeling, jeez. There are a few ways you could answer Josh. Okay. Right, so I imagine that head right on this game. We do not want to beat around the bush here. We want this game done because it's going to look bad on everybody here if the game flops and we'll never get work again. So playing it safe probably isn't the bad idea. And isn't a good idea even, jeez, honestly. Okay, this play it safe, start with the playtest report the consultants delivered, stick to the facts, try not to place blame. Oh, that's a different, okay, I thought you meant play it safe as in like, oh, there's no problem with it, but that's foolish, of course. Go for conciliatory. Knowing that as the writer you share some responsibility of the games before showing. Be brave and say what's real on your mind. Ooh. See. Like, I'm just putting movie logic to this. You want to be straightforward with people because if you're a yes man, you end up with the second Star Wars trilogy. But if you're straight-laced about this whole thing, then you might piss people off, but then the product itself will be fine, and then we'll all get jobs after this. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to be brave. Let's say what we think. The consultants, I think, can't figure out what kind of game we're making because we don't know what kind of game we're making. Cool, okay. I've been here 14 months. I still don't know whether we're making a cinematic game or an emergent combat-driven game. Alright, okay. Which impacts me in a million ways. Is our player character someone the player is supposed to inhabit or someone he's supposed to portray? It's a huge difference story-wise. Yes. What he said. Josh puts his hands on the surface of the conference table as though he's to steady himself. Oh boy. I can already tell that me and Josh are not going to get along at this point. It's both. Right. He's angry now, you can tell, but doing his best not to give it away Just how angry? Maybe we should have played it safe. No, I'm gonna stay steadfast in my thing here. Just, he's angry, it's not my fault. You know what? Every goddamn month, you and I have the same conversation. I always tell you the same thing. We're giving players the freedom to choose how they approach our world. It's kind of your job, our job, to build the character and situations around the experience that they'll never forget. We're not trying to recreate Mass Effect here, buddy, honestly. Well, from what I've heard, at least. Troy, possibly coming to your aid, says, well, I think the canonical Shattergate experience, I always come back to the Hydra fighting S1, Series 1, I suppose. It's big but controlled. It's got choices, but it doesn't feel aimless. Yes. I imagine this is going to relate to a lot of, like, gaming franchises. I only know of a few of them because I've only played a few of them. But the rest of them I only have, like, facts and other knowledge about and what I've seen other Let's Players play, but not for myself. So I'll have to see how I understand all this. Josh nods. I love that fight. For a brief, terrifying moment, it looks like he might actually cry. Okay. People are dedicated in this room, that's for sure. But look, this all goes to my point. We do know what kind of game we're making. By and large, we've made the game we intend to make. But somehow this isn't getting across to the players. How can we communicate our intentions better? That's why we're here. Okay, right. Intentions. Actually, Sean says, okay, they do something really clever with that in Dark Souls. Oh yes, Dark Souls, that I know about. God damn it, Josh says. Oh god. God damn. Josh, shut up, honestly. I've told you again and again. That particular game's example is not fucking relevant here. Right, so we're not remaking Dark Souls. Even though that's pretty much a term at this point for games that are like hard. Troy's staring at the window, his face fixed in a smile. He's a fan of Dark Souls. So is Sean, so are you. Yeah, I am, totally. Yay, okay. Even if Josh has played a fair amount of Dark Souls, you know from the amount of trophies he's racked up, you're nothing if not careful spy of your colleagues' online profiles. Okay, me, a bit creepy, but sure. Okay. But you know Josh has also been forced to clamp down on every aspirational attempts to mimic it because Josh's boss, everyone's boss, Drew, is the GM of the studio, despises Dark Souls. Why? It's not a terrible game. Come on now. According to the stacks of market research studies that apparently spontaneously generate on Drew's desk, Dark Souls doesn't represent what typical consumers want from their games. Well, no, it's not like a typical game. It does well with the core, he concedes, but you're spending Shattergate money, Dark Souls becomes commercially unviable. Whatever, sure. You know that's probably one of the most successful franchises, but still, whatever. Rumor has it that if anyone mentions the game in an aspirational context within earshot of Drew is an instant risk of being terminated. Well, that's totally illegal, I think, but still, sure. You can have your opinions. Dark Souls isn't the best game in the world, I think we all know that for sure, but even so, it's still a good one nonetheless. The room is quiet for several seconds. Josh leans back in his chair. You're pretty sure everyone's thinking about Dark Souls. I'm thinking about Dark Souls now. I gotta play Dark Souls 2 actually. I bought it ages ago. I need to do that, actually. Finally, Josh says, it sounds like more than anything, we've got a writing problem in our hands. Oh, Josh. That's true, technically, because I haven't played any of the other games, so I wouldn't know, but still. Why would they even hire me if I didn't play any of the other games? At least that, or at least knew the story, which I don't seem to at this point, but I suppose that's the business, I guess. Without looking at you, he gets to his feet and heads for the dry erase board. He then grabs his beloved blue marker, glyphs, excuse me, glyphs and boxes glyphs and boxes begin to form under his swiping. Circling hand. Excuse my reading and writing today, honestly. Okay. Either way, let's walk through the intro level, all of it. Oh god, is it gonna be like bloody, what's it called? Phantom Pain, what's it called? A Metal Gear Solid. It's gonna be like Metal Gear. It's gonna be like an hour and a half of cutscenes. From what I've heard, at least, because Jesus Christ, wow. Are you making a movie or a game there, Hideo, honestly? Anyway, let's walk through it. Yeah, step by step. I want to put all the dialogue under the microscope. All the objective strings. We adjust timings, maybe retool some environments to improve the flow. Environment is complete. The content is complete. Fuck. Okay. Slow down. Environment is content complete. Okay, Erica says that didn't make sense to me. Never mind. His back to the room, Josh breathes in and breathes out. This guy is stressed, like, beyond at this point. I mean, geez, man, he's not having a fun time here. Just making sure, you know. Oh, Erica, I don't think sarcasm's really gonna help this guy along at this point. Okay. I know. Josh's whiteboard scribbling turns squeakily ferocious. This is important. We don't have a choice. We need to get this right. The first 90 seconds of our game don't melt people's faces or make them tweet Shattergate is back, motherfuckers. Then guess what? We've lost them. We've lost them to Gears, to COD, to Minecraft. Well, they're completely different games. You want a cinematic and a fighty game, so I don't know what you want here. Minecraft's awesome, Mike says. Mike, for love of God, man, just as though you're just arriving. Oh dear. Josh is gonna kill someone by the end of this meeting, honestly. He just mentions that Dark Souls or Minecraft is better games than he's made at this point. We can't all be Notch at this point, honestly. Josh turns back to the room. Behind him is what you vaguely recognize as Sean's opening level layout. Guys, anyone here remember our design document? Remember how we're going to set the table story-wise? A super that says GCA 1009, 5 years before the schism? And then, bam, we drop you right into the action. Okay, good, I guess. He puts his hands out, suddenly looking like a frat boy beggar in a rumpled button-down shirt. What happened to that? We have 6 minutes of cinematics right up to the top. Why have we front-loaded all this other crap into the game? Oh god, okay. Right then. Are we gonna, okay, there's always truth, but it's which truth we want to tell at this point. Okay. So we can remind him about the big grabby opening was something that he and Drew asked you to write. Okay, so that's what I wanted, or what we needed, in fact. Admit that the opening cinematic is not your best stuff. Okay. Bring up the fact that the cold opening was tried, implemented, and ultimately rejected as too abrupt after several playtests. Huh. Which do we want at this point? Because we want, like, here's the choice that's going to come through in this game. It's like, do we want to make it best for the game or for us at this point? Because if it's for the game, then we're going to have to be very rude to our colleagues. If it's for us, the game might suffer, so... I can't imagine that going, like, in the middle is going to help either, so... And blaming myself isn't going to do anything. I might be feeling, like, very self-centered at this point, but I don't think blaming me is going to do much good here, so... I don't know, though. The bottom one's very, like, harsh on everybody, but... Yeah, I think the top one's best. We were asked to write that. 8 months ago, you and Drew told me to write up that opening cinematic. You both said it was going to be a test. I had one night to write it. One night? What kind of, like... This probably isn't a AAA company thinking about it. That's probably like a smaller one, like Outlast levels, I think, maybe, because there's no way that it would be this, like, contrived and late, basically, I don't think, at least. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not in on this business. I had one night to write it. Next thing I knew, I was being storyboarded and animated. Josh stares at you, but it's Mike that speaks. Oh god. Josh is gonna literally throw me out the window, honestly, at this rate. If it was such a bad idea, why didn't you push back? Or make it better later? Oh no. Well then, I'm on the chopping block at this point, may as well live with it. We hired you to know what good writing is. Why aren't you raising red flags when you see issues like this? I just said he wanted the damn cutscene, Jesus Christ. I didn't think it was a bad idea on its own. This isn't the satisfactory answer. You can feel a chilly orb form around this and separate you from your colleagues. Great. I avoided trying to get myself into hot shit and now I'm there already. Great. Josh is gonna be mad. He looks at us crossing his arms. You know you have to say something, you say. Maybe I'm imagining this, but it seems like a lot of the game's problems are all of a sudden being placed at my feet. That wasn't wise. That really wasn't wise. No one's saying that. Thank you, Troy. At least you're being nice to me. I don't know, Erica says. I haven't been that crazy about the quality of the scripts, just to be frank. Great. Great. Me neither. This is Sean. You stare at him hot-eyed surprise. Oh, Sean was on my side. I thought Troy was my bro at this point. We're not gonna get anywhere if all we do is point fingers, Troy says, using his producer tone. A high-pitched, suspiciously reasonable sounding voice, nevertheless devoid of all collegiality and emotion. Yes. Lovely words being used here that I probably can't pronounce. Now, based on what I'm hearing, we have two options. First option, we stick to our guns and go with the cinematic open that explains our lore, maybe with some new voiceover, yeah. I think that'll smooth things over. Option 2, we go back to the cold open. With 6 months left to ship, no way we're doing that. There's no way. We need to work on what we have here, I think. I really don't care what you guys choose. What I care about is that we make this decision right now. Right here in this room and stick to that decision. Really stick to it. I don't hear yes, I agree now and then learn your you're talking all the shit about our decision layer to your departments, because guess what? After today, the ship has sailed. Alright, throughout his entire speech, Troy has been masking the surface of the conference table with his index finger, as though killing ants. He turns to you, another ant. Oh boy. Since you're the one that's going to have to write it, what do you think? Whew. Your mind is a bright, glittery cascade of thoughts. Unfortunately, you're not able to isolate or hold on to any single one of them. Everything in your head is water. Making a decision right now in this room has too many implications. Oh boy. It will determine the tone of the rest of the game. It will determine the rest of your day, your week, your month. Part of you wants to ask the room if there's an example of another game out there that has done cold open particularly well. But you're worried Sean will start talking about Dark Souls again. Well, this is 2012 actually, so Phantom Pain didn't come out till 2 years ago. Can we not just talk about, like, Metal Gear, Resurgence? Rising Resurgence? That one. The one with, what's his name? Raiden, that one. That's got a cold opening, hasn't it? It's got very cold, actually. But yeah, Dark Souls, Dark Souls. Oh my god. Okay. This is the big decision here. Right. This is a big old choice we've got here, okay. Right. Right, we can go for the cold open, we can do a cinematic open, or we don't know. Right. I didn't get to say anything. Okay. I vote cold open, okay, right. Okay, everyone wants cold open. Josh looks around in panic. Can we hang on it here a sec? Why? Troy smiles at him in a sad, condescending way. Oh, Troy. Oh, buddy. We have to get through the rest of the lab. We're already 20 minutes into this meeting, are we? Oh yeah, we actually kind of are. Yeah, sorry, obviously Josh isn't sorry. But I don't think the cold open will work. We have a lot of really important context to establish. Critics eat that shit up. So what I think, maybe we shouldn't think about the critics here, we should think about the players. That's what we're all about here, I think. That's normally what you do when you make games, isn't it? I think we keep the opening cinematic but rewrite the dialogue. It's way too expositional, Sean says. So maybe we could go with the more in medias res type thing? I kind of like the part where Rick talks about Plant is dying. Right, so we're going for what's it called? Commander Shepard type deal, I think. Here Mike breaks in. No, 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 I hate that part. It's just a random bullshit about the planet the player's never heard of. Why should he care? I don't know, they do it in games sometimes, I guess. Because Sean says the planet's dying, it's all very sad, Mike. Sean, Jesus Christ, you could not have made that any worse. Mike goes dead-eyed. The player needs to feel the loss in the gameplay. We're on two different levels at this point, because a game can be cinematic and not very much like a game, or a game, basically, like, where you just play and kill people. It's like, it's different between COD and Shadow of the Colossus here, because Shadow of the Colossus is like a cinematic journey, and COD's just a game where you shoot people, for the most part at least. Like, I've only played Black Ops 3, and that's the one I know to be quite like just a game. Alright, sure, yeah, I can look forward to the system for you to devise and communicate entirely of planetary loss. Oh boy. You know what I said we shouldn't get onto the arguing side of things? We're already there. Wait, Troy says. Isn't that why we put all the effort into building emotional connections? He's quoting one of Josh's development mantras here with a riskily obvious dubiousness through Rick's companions. Troy's gonna get thrown out the window here, not me anymore. But nobody seems to have heard him. That or nobody chose to have heard him. Rick's a been there, done that kind of guy, Sean goes on, right? What if he's just like, Sean does his best, which is to say wildly unsuccessful, posh British accent. Our galaxy has never been a pleasant place to be, but now entire planets are dying. Josh finds this all very amusing. Ship that shit. Ship it. Oh god, yes, with the shippings and things, honestly. You know, this is the first time anyone has smiled since the meeting began. Yes, jokes indeed, but still, we have, like, work to do here, lads, honestly. But Sean is undaunted. Hell, it's no worse than some of the lines that are in the game right now. Look, all I'm trying to do is... Oh god, don't you start with my writing, sir. Josh jumps out of his chair again. Wait, what? Wait, just stop. How about this? What if we cut the in-game chatter and went to the straight-up voiceover? You know, the world has changed. Galadriel type shit. Well, Erica's mouth drops open. You want to call the in-game dialogue that's supposed to fix the problem? No, I'm thinking like images, something simple. He looks at Erica so intensely that so intently you are half fearing a marriage proposal. Yes, sure. We use our kick-ass visual art team, led by you, to make a really beautiful visual quilt. What? So you're like legit talking about just a map here, even though it's set in space, but whatever. Josh's flower does not make the intended inroad with Erica. A visual quilt? Erica says this phrase as though turning over in her mouth, outlining it with her tongue. And what exactly will this visual quilt of yours look like? Spaceships, planets. Wow, you could not be any more vague, dude, honestly. You notice that when he's confronted about something she doesn't want to do, Erica often says, okay, thinking about it, before quickly dismissing the idea. Okay, she says, thinking about it. Great. Oh boy. Then she makes a face. A no underlined in fire for the open of the entire game. You want to pan and scan over a planet flowing through space and stick some voiceover under it. Did it become 1958 in here or something? I don't know, maybe, I guess. Like, yeah, Mike says, sorry, dude, but I'm with Erica here. That scrolling texture reminds me of the low budget JRPGs. Not the biggest game of the year. I don't know, it doesn't seem like we're making a AAA game anymore, guys, honestly. Josh's hurt face, which cruelly makes him look a decade younger. Metronomes from Mike to Erica. When he begins to speak, you sense him minding his words. Ooh. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I missed something here, but doesn't every Star Wars movie start with scrolling text? Because they invented the damn thing, because they can have it. With that, though, he is no longer minding his words. His eyes fill with the madness of the unheeded prophet. Doesn't what is literally the most popular movie franchise of all time introduce itself by taking a giant lore shit on your entire face? Dude, we don't talk about it like that, and not really, because literally after that happens, you get this whole like here's a princess, here's some robots, this is a spaceship, here's the bad guy, and then you go. You don't get anything else after that. It's not really that much of a lore thing here, buddy, honestly. The room is silent for several seconds. Yeah, no shit. Then Erica, yeah, but it's really the exception to the rule. Yeah, because it was a groundbreaking franchise. It wasn't just like a thing you do, and really, that's cinema. This is a game thing we're talking about here. Josh throws his blue marker onto the floor where it bounces and at a severe angle smacks into the glass, separating the room from the rest of the studio with a sharp crack. Oh boy. Out on the floor, several heads turning in the meeting room. Josh is already pulling down the room's blinds. We have a writer, he says quietly, as the white slats of the blinds crackly unfurl. He gestures towards you. Yep. A writer will do something. Roll credits. Ping. Joy takes a deep breath, so another passive dialogue for the open. Yeah, and if that doesn't work, we will go with the cold open. Erica might look at each other, the table, each other. Josh is still staring at Troy, pretends to not have noticed their salty, mutinous consultation. Eek. Maybe I should have been quicker about my picking there, I think. Troy starts taking note, but then with a small infuriated slash crosses out. You know what? Fine. That's not what but fine. Moving on. What's next? Sean begins to stretch in his chair like a giant cat making itself a home. He's complained before about Troy's unreasonable habit of scheduling meetings before 11 AM. Dude, you work in this industry. You should be used to it by now, honestly. The first 25% of what Sean proceeds to say is mostly a yawn. Hey, maybe next we can talk about the pirate attack or the space battle. Or whatever the fuck we're calling it now. What? Is this really just Infinite Warfare now? I thought you were talking about a battle movie now, but oh, fine, whatever. We're skipping the pirate space battle, Josh says. It's too big, it's noisy, it's fine. People will love it. Let's go right into Afghanistan. What are you talking about? This is the most mental game I've ever heard. It's pretty much going the way of Infinite Warfare by the sounds of it, being all in space. Erica sighs audibly. Josh has insisted on referring to the game's early self-consciously studied war is bad desert battle, the second major combat encounter as Afghanistan. So indefatigably, that panicked PR flak made him undergo emergency deprogramming right before E3 last year, lest he slip and actually say the thing out loud to the press. Right. At his press conference, he wound up saying the battle only reminded him of Afghanistan. Oh no. Which thankfully only had higher-minded critics on Twitter tissing about an hour afterwards. Oh yeah, just like that. Remember, Troy says we're not supposed to call it Afghanistan anymore. Sorry, let's go right on to Tora Bora. Troy makes another note. Good on Troy. Josh is walking around the table now, his hands moving to the empathetic little circles. This is our showstopper, the first moment in the game. where they announce their true intentions. This is the new Shattergate, grittier, tougher, meaner. Oh no, it's a gritty reboot. God damn it. Learn from the movies, man. They don't work that well. And yet enemy barks through that level sound cartoonist. They're not convincing. Everything is just an argle bargle kill the human. It's murdering the feels here. Oh man. AAA game making is hard. I can't understand why anyone can do it. Okay, so is he taking another shot at you? So it's a stab at the century absurd heart of everything you've been trying to overcome over the past year. You'd very much like to know how Melville, Shakespeare, or even Mark Laidlaw could write convincing combat dialogue for a game in which you punch the heads off enemies, frozen in place by your ice grenades. Well, Melville was on a boat. Shakespeare was just Shakespeare, and I'm not sure if Laidlaw is. Grittier, tougher, meaner. Nothing else in the game actually supported these aspirations, even though Drew and Josh talked about them all the time. A single glance at the weapons, art, story, and milieu of the game leads any rational person to an inescapable conclusion. This is a willfully, obviously ridiculous world. Right then, so we should probably go for like the, what's it called? Bayonetta style thing. That kind of combat, maybe. Or Yakuza 0, I heard that's pretty outrageous. Josh is still talking, but you decide probably unwise to interrupt. Okay. Josh, hold up. Our primary weapon is called the guns word. We have an execution animation that allows you to decapitate an enemy with a skeet shoot his head out of the air for bonus XP, right? Excuse me, you said Rick's was supposed to be this very interplanetary Casanova with an alien girlfriend in every location. How many games are we gonna rip off here? You may as well make a little bingo sheet at this point. You're very knowledgeable of them all. Josh, hang on here. We're still finding Drew's input that the game aliens will use Arabic sounding language. Oh no. Are we gonna have that kind of deal going on here? I'm not gonna say that. Top one. That makes more sense. Okay, so what? It's not very gritty, is my point. Well, that's how it's presented. It's a gun with a sword on it. That is how it's presented. Mike says aside, the game is it's the game's signature weapon. It's like putting Doom in a gritty thing. It's the most ridiculous game you could ever play sometimes. And that's fine, you say, because you actually like the guns world. Guns word in the gameplay a lot. But we're shooting ourselves in the foot if we don't honor what our experience actually wants to be. We go about how our core fan base wants a grittier, heavier experience, but nothing else in the game is doing anything to support that experience. You think what can be done with writing, with words? Nobody's suggesting that this rests entirely on words, Erica says. I've now been here without a day off for 38 days in a row. You know why? Because I'm dirtying up our environments to make them grittier. Oh, don't make it grey, honestly. Words, words, Sean Mars to nobody. All at once you go boneless in your chair. What was billed as an emergency fix of the game meeting has turned to unambiguously into something else. Yeah, rewrite the whole damn thing at this point. Just call off the project at this point, honestly. It's been going for so long now, honestly. You feel like you've gained 15 pounds of paranoia in the last hour. You look around the table. Do all of them have it in for you? How long have they been whispering about your work? Has this whole charade been concocted as an elaborate show to trial to convict you of the imminent failure of Shattergate Future Perfect, the game that absolutely cannot fail? This is probably what it's like to try and make Half-Life 3 happen at this point. You know what you want to do, but you just can't do it because the fans are just looming over you. What were the jokes you shared, the beers you drank, and the snarky memes that you forwarded to one another in response to some innocent team members? I brought the banana bread email announcement. All the camaraderie seems like distant shimmering mirage right now. So I gather it's all a writing problem, you say, weakly defiant. Our whole game. The others glance around the table at one another. They seem to be waiting for you to continue. Alright then. We gotta be firm at this point. I'm trying my best. Okay. Hate to break it to you, but there are fundamental problems here we can't fix with script changes. Okay. I guess I fucked. No! Fundamental problems here. This isn't just me here. There's not always that. You need other things. You go on. It all goes back to the real problem here. I can't make something serious when the gameplay is not serious. You're telling me to do this. You're telling me to make it's going to work. And it hasn't worked. Now, right now, I'm telling you this is not going to work. Ever. You want a serious, sober, grey-skied story where you don't want to give up your gameplay? I understand not wanting to give that up. It's what everyone likes about Shattergate. That doesn't change the fact that you're asking for something impossible. Don't you get that? That's not really what I was hoping for here. That was a bit too harsh. You want to have your cake and eat it too. Mike sighs. The cakes are like, dude, honestly, with the references here. Honestly, yes, cakes lies. No one eats them. Portal references. Hardy, hardy, har. Erica softly disdained, eyes closed. Mike, shut the fuck up. Thank you, Erica. You're not sure when you stood up and now slowly you sit back down. We're a team, Josh says finally. He doesn't seem to have been offended by what you said. Worse, he doesn't seem to have even listened to what you said. Great, thank you, Josh, honestly. I'm getting mad for this guy, honestly. This is a team effort. We're going to solve this as a team. I know this is hard on everyone, and E3 is just around the corner again. Any day now they're going to be hounding us for demos and for fucking interviews and God knows what else. Oh shit, damn it. You think about the man missing his son's birthday party due to an emergency meeting about execution animations. Man, Mike says, almost feels like we're in that mission at the end of Scoured Lands. The fractured thing with a linear motion gun. Sean actually puts a hand over his heart. You mean where the floor gets dynamically blown apart while you're running around on it? I remember playing that. God, it must have been so hard to script. It was worth it though. Fracture! Yay, we're being nice to each other for once, I think, maybe. Not even Josh is sinking into a marsh of warm, happy memories. Yeah, that was a really good bit. Then you look around Bird like, Eureka! Wait a sec, maybe we should just base our opening on something like that. Troy's Lobo eyes suddenly grow wide and alert. We're not back on the open again, are we? Josh leans over, his chest pressed up against the table's edge, while he hand puppets a new idea. Just think about it. You open up on the player, lasers are coming down, the floor is getting totally destroyed. Suddenly Josh looks over to you. You know the part I'm talking about, right? You should probably keep to your job, which is really fun despite all. You say, yeah, oh yeah, that's really good stuff. You decide you don't care anymore about this game, about any of these people. You say, oh, okay. Oh, that's like that's such a bad idea, but I kind of want to. You realize with painful clarity that the writing in this game is a terrible idea, that nobody should ever have to do it for any reason. You say, I think, oh, okay. So we could say, we could quit, we could just throw everybody under the bus, or say, yeah, that's a good bit. I've been trying to get this, I've been saying it's all about the game here for so long, I'm gonna continue to say so. Just the words lead your mouth, the door to the conference room drifts open. Mallory, the audio AP, is standing at the door jamb. Her face is all pinched and traumatized, she's breathing hard, her face red. Uh-oh, what happened? She must have run here from Greenland, which is what everyone calls the audio department. Why? Because it's a distant, harsh land that nobody ever thinks about unless prompted. She's balancing a laptop on her left hand. Oh dear, someone leaked the bad interviews, I bet you. I heard you guys are talking about changing lines again. Again? What the fuck, dude? I told you. She's looking at Troy now. To keep the audio team in the loop on this shit. We're over scoped as it is without another recording session. Josh stands to make peace. Mallory is looking at Troy. Talks right over her ostensible boss Josh. There's so many words in this game, I feel so stupid now, honestly. Well, guess what? It's too late. Grant's in Germany shooting with Wes Anderson. Oh, good for Grant. That's a cool thing. We're not getting him back for at least 3 months. Remember when I told you all that? Remember when I told you what we needed to have locked in and why? Because none of you assholes listened to me. He's shooting a Wes Anderson movie. Sean says, hey, Sean, shut up. Wes Anderson is awesome. Shut up. Why don't we just recast him, Troy asked the room. His producer tone is so reasonable, so seductive, honestly. So honestly, a lot of his takes are pretty rough. Hiring a movie stars for games is a waste of money enemy, Mike says. It worked for Portal, didn't it? I mean, they got J.K. Simmons and Stephen Merchant for that. Not if you do it right, Erica, who had a lot to do with Grant's casting, says, how about it's supposed to work is when you get what you need and cut it. You don't call one of the world's busiest movie stars back into the booth every 3 weeks for pickups because you don't know what you want. Oh boy. Mallory hasn't actually stopped talking. Anyway, recasting discussion at this stage. Look, audio has kind of has to be invited into meetings about these things that affect audio. Oh boy, oh boy. Josh was looking at the ceiling. I didn't invite you because I was trying to let you guys work. His eyes lower to meet hers. You know, because you're so behind. Oh, don't say that, Josh. The whole team is behind. You can't just go mad to the audio people. Okay, Troy says, please can we all calm down? We're making a mass entertainment here, people. You wouldn't think so with all this going on. Mallory is walking deeper into the room toward Troy. You know why we're behind? Because you keep making more work for us. It's like the whole team is just fucking invisible to you. Everyone starts shouting at once, except for Sean, who's laughing. Sean, you dick, honestly, don't do that. Your colleagues' voices are big and dense and forceful like waves. They're around you, beneath you, on top of you, hitting you, pushing you. You let the waves drive you away. Your eyes are closed. Soon you're no longer there, but in some happier place, some other better project, and some better future. Oh, triple dot. Are we there? 3 years later. It was due 6 months into the future. How can it be 3 years? You're the lead writer on Shattergate Online, the franchise's first attempt to reconcile its story with a massively multiplayer game world. Oh, last dead attempt here. SC Go has... Oh, I was thinking CSGO, but that's not it. SGO has been christened. It's 12 months for shipping. Right, we have longer this time. Late last week, the team received its first reaction from paid outside consultants. Unambiguously catastrophic. Again? Oh, good. You're in a meeting with a room with several others, most of them leads. Okay. Monday, 9:30. A heavy damp towel smell lingers. You and everyone else are here working through the weekend, so it's the same old scenario as before. Sean rubs a grit from his eyes. Everyone knows why we're here. He begins. And then... the end. So the game will never ever get made, pretty much. So then... oh boy. To Tom Bissell and Matthew S. Burns, well done, good sirs. This is a really, like, engaging story. I really liked it. Like, even though, like, we're just, like... you weren't referencing, like, a real franchise, it sort of felt like... you guys know what you're talking about, and it was very interesting to actually, like, learn about the whole making a big AAA title like that. It was actually very cool to think about and learn about, and wow. I'm kind of glad I went into movie making, because I know movies like take just as long as games to make sometimes, but if you miss an actor like they did, then you can just sort of wait until they're done. Like, you can just get other things done at the same time. With this, it's sort of like you just need everything to come together at the right place at the right time. Man. The poor writer, though, he didn't do that much wrong. I might have been able to, like, place more blame on myself. I might have been a bit, like, sort of, oh, it's not my fault, what are you talking to me for? But it's still cool, though. So, as you saw in the game, there are loads of choices to make, so you guys can play this for yourself and see where you end up. Will you get the game made, or you end up like me with the game still in production over 3 years later? But still, that's the writer will do something. An awesome little game you can play on itch.io. It's a web browser type game, as you can probably tell. I will leave a link in the description, as always, so you guys can go play this for yourself and hopefully get this goddamn game made. Either way, thank you all so kindly for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. See you later.